First of all, the rear of the house. You found a public entry to get to the rear of the house. But the one thing that stuck out to me was that dog in that backyard. That dog was loud.
Yeah, absolutely. That dog was there to greet us without fail, barking, and that was really, it did stand out. And it was interesting, there was a cat back there, and it didn't bark at the cat, but it knew that we were strangers when it was back there, and it didn't stop barking. You could hear that through that whole report. I found that interesting, that whole walkway, and I really found it interesting as I set out to explore possible routes on foot myself. I didn't want to drive in a car, I wanted to walk on foot. When I found that pathway into those woods, and that area where we were in that piece, on Sunday the FBI had set up a mobile command center down there, and we thought that was much farther away, because to drive to it, it's about 1.5 miles, but to walk through it, you saw it's just a few minutes away. There's definitely a lot of options here for what could have happened. I mean, there's no reason that anything like that, there's no obstacles to stop somebody from taking that route, Vinny.
How expansive is that wooded area? I know they've done a couple searches, as you told us, but is it still possible, based upon the thickness of the brush and everything else, that maybe they didn't see everything that's in that wooded area?
I think it's certainly possible. Indeed, it has been searched at least twice. That's the area that the National Guardsmen, 25 National Guardsmen, researched on Sunday. But it goes on and on. I mean, we walked up to the top of this crest and we didn't get anywhere near the end of the woods. And when you're in the middle of that woods, you realize how dense it is, how few paths there are, and how challenging it would be to really effectively search every inch of that woods, especially if you're not just searching for baby Lisa herself, but for a clue, something else that could lead investigators. There's trash, there's other stuff littered about. It's a really challenging area to try to go through inch by inch through that whole thing. I mean, it goes at least, I would say, 1 mile that we could physically see from our walk through there, and no idea how deep that is. So it's a huge, huge area, Vinny.